Hello and welcome back to Disco Elysium. So last time we spent a very long time speaking with this lady here. And now we're going to go speak to Kuno again. That's the plan anyway. Beyond that we've got some other places to go, but that's kind of it. It's almost at the end of the day. I believe that the end of the day is 9 o'clock as we were told, but I could be wrong. What's this? Looks like there was more construction here once decades ago. Okay. It's all very dark now. Wonder if the town properly changes or whether just the light changes through the day. Like whether people go in, whether shops are shut, and all that sort of stuff. I'm assuming we can't go into anywhere that's facing the wrong way. No. Okay. That's fine. Head over here. Yes, I want to speak to Kuno again. Assuming he's still here. Be nice if he was. There he is. Hello.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
28% chance. Empathy. Let's go. Ooh. What's going on? He's an ungovernable youth on your crime scene throwing incendiary language around. Looks like you don't have enough on your plate. You feel a sudden surge of self-pity coming on. Yeah. Kuno. City of Rage. Night City. What's going on there? I'm intrigued. No. The evil shit behind the fence hacks like she's coughing up a furball. You told him about it and now he knows you're lame. The city's not fucking lame. You're lame. Kuno's tired of defending Rage City from. She waves his hands in the air. Just fuck off, alright? And fuck you too. He turns to you. Putting Kuno on the spot like that. Kuno doesn't need to fucking explain this shit. Kuno's king. He rules. The fuck did you want? Explain himself, as if explaining some kind of work. Seems kind of avant-garde work ahead of its time. I'm intrigued. You must get to the bottom of this one of these days. Sadly, it's unlikely to happen today. Ugh. Yep, that's a pain that we lost it again. I want to put a lot into empathy, but I'm kind of... I want to know what's up with Kuno. That's my problem here. I keep putting points into empathy to find out what's going on with Kuno. There must be other things that get you positives on that check. Right, let's speak to this guy. Sure. I don't know who he is.
I am a gander and a hunter and a gatherer. Feel like a traveler.
The man mutters to himself, accenting the beats as he goes. A simple cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes along. I'm going to keep listening.
From another planet. Hey there.
What's going on here?
It's the jam, my man.
He motions towards the sprawl of lorries with a sweeping gesture. What's the jam?
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates of the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, an all-around clusterfuck. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Upon days.
So how long have you been here?
Feels near forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout.
Mazout is an antiquated term for heavy fuel oils. This man has barely suppressed performative streak, or he just likes unusual words, or both. I dig your style, man.
Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already.
He snickers in appreciation of the digging of his style. Behind the laugh, however, a touch of sorrow.
So tell me, what do you need?
Spare some change for a working stiff? Huh? Sudden financial duty snapped him out of his daze. Oh, no, I ain't got any money. They don't want to pay for unfinished work. They who? The bosses, man. Well, I don't know who these bosses think they are, but that sounds like a good arrangement for them. Yeah, it sure ain't good for me, or you. I'd spare a coin or two for a city cop down on his luck. Say if I had 4 myself. Tell me about the strike. It's like whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands, no way in or out. What's the union demanding? Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane and half the company. I forget what exactly. Good on them, I guess. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town too. Like a strike negotiator type. They know what's up. precise demands, and so on. What do you think the company wants? They want to keep the money flowing in, my man. He makes a ka-ching sound. He doesn't blame them, but he's not on their side, that's for sure. Anything else I should know? Anything else? He thinks. Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. Just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do. All of who? Us lorry drivers. Camioneers. A few still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high or laid. He smiles awkwardly. Not that I blame him, really. Not you? Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now, reflecting, observing. He glances down the road towards the horizon, a glint of something in his eyes. He tries his best to look nonchalant, but there's a rigidity in him, as if trying to conceal something warm and deep beneath a cool exterior. Ooh, we can use our empathy. I'll keep going, because this one usually is like, if you get the right check somewhere else in here, you can make it better. Hopefully we don't make it worse. Know anything about the dead man, the one hanging behind the hostel there? He ain't one of us drivers, I know that, all accounted for. Otherwise I haven't really asked about that, been wasting time here. Keep him busy. It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff. Busy with what? Analyzing the fundamental structure and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs. And your conclusion? A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees. What are you hauling anyway? Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that. Relax, it's merely joking. Wicked, I've always wanted a friend in the underworld. Ah, no, I'm joking, my man. He grins. Fallon runs a nice clean business. This haul of cargo is mostly sporting goods, you know, tracksuits, that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grad, then Occident, though we've been making headway in the Ilmaran market lately. It's nothing illegal then? No, unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road. And that's your machine behind you? This rockin' beauty? He points at the lorry with his thumb. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery? A motor lorry, also called a camion on Kalu and neighbouring islands. This one looks roughed up enough to be some sort of Fallon rust bucket. Maybe an A6? That Fallon A6 you got there? Good eye, my man. Yup, she's an old one, but reliable. He gives the side of the lorry a friendly knock. Me and her spent a long time together. There it is again. A little touch of sadness beneath his cool. He thinks he spent too long on this lorry. Could I get one of those Fallon tracksuits you're hauling? We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out merchandise. The bosses won't be happy. Alright, I had another question. You seem like a man who knows about drugs. Ah, man, me and narcotics go way back. He folds his hands behind his head and leans back. Had some good times surfing on the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know. But, he pauses, letting the memory dissipate. Those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man? You know what? I need to get high. I'm looking for a dealer. Hey man, that's serious criminal talk. You trying to pull some kind of entrapment thing on me? Entrapment is a practice whereby an officer of the law induces a person to commit a criminal offense that the person would have otherwise been unlikely to commit. Usually through some trickery, persuasion, or fraud. That was what I was trying to do. But, what? No, of course not. He rubs his jaw. Then what's your deal here? So much for subtlety. Let's get straight to the point. Let me be straight with you. I'm trying to figure out who's smuggling drugs out of Terminal B. Lieutenant steps in. We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbour to load it onto their lorry and drive it to Jamrock. Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folk up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed towards a conflagration. Who do you think could be conducting the drug trade then? Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find some other man to probe with these questions. We wouldn't say he's lying, sire. Let's try it. What do you see in his eyes? Success! That's what I see in his eyes. In his eyes, a familiar longing, flecks of brown and gold. Familiar how? It's hard to say. His gaze wanders southwest, down the street that goes beyond the horizon. What's in the southwest? Excuse me? He emerges from the reverie. A flinch jolts his frame. The question touched a nerve. Really, you can tell me? Man, he sighs. I don't know what to say. Not much anyone can do. There's no help in an absence, you know. I miss my family. They're all I have. My wife, second kid on the way, waiting all the way in Dara. And here I am, stuck in this shit, so far from home. Deora? Deora of the Seven Seas. It's on the other end of Le Calou, pretty much. On another island called Laurentad, off mainland. We got a little place there. I can almost hear my kid laugh when it snows. What's it like to miss someone? What's it like? Good and bad. An ache that brings you joy. He smiles warmly. I think of them a lot. I dream up these little scenarios in great detail. Of living with them. It comforts me. There's a pause and a sigh. He turns his eyes to you. What about you, cop man? You missing someone? Is that what it is? This feeling? I miss someone, but I don't know who it is. I feel for you, my man. It's bad enough to know who you miss. Missing like that doesn't feel like it has much of an upside. But thanks for this. It's nice to talk to someone, and I know it wasn't easy to ask. He smiles. I hope you find your way through your own troubles. Well, I'm good for now. Good talk. Don't be a stranger. He gives a salute with 2 fingers. Okay. Cool. There are some more trucks here. I was hoping to find somewhere called Freet, and the reason I want to find that is because in one of the loading screens it said, go to Freet to sell your bottles. Kind of what I was hoping to find. But it doesn't look like we're going to be that lucky. Oh, it's going to take me all the way around. Okay. I'm going to head back into the Whirling and Rags. Is this open? Closed for winter. Please use the main entrance. Okay, that's fine. Head in here. Equip a flashlight in low light areas. Nah, we don't need to do that. Well, I mean, we did that, but we don't need to do that anymore. Oh, there's some more people here. I guess it's because it's night. That makes sense. Hey, what's up, Gart? Or Garty?
Can I help you?
So, about that money I owe. How much do I owe you again? 130 real? I have your money. He glares at you suspiciously. Well? Here it is. Sorry for the trouble. Lots of experience and a level up immediately. Great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance, starting tomorrow. He's not sorry about his behavior for your sake. Now that you have money, he really wants to make sure you're not angry with him. I'll unlock the electronic lock to your room. He taps his foot against the metal box installed in the back of the bar counter. All the doors lock automatically at 9 o'clock. Please pay for each night in advance, starting tomorrow. It's 20 real per night. Kim opens his wallet. I'll take a room here too. Of course. He takes the money and hands him a keyring. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you? No, goodbye. A level up. I'm very happy. I'm tempted to put a point in visual calculus again to get it back up to where I want it. Well, let's think about the kind of stuff we need. Well, let's have a look at our journal first, actually. So we got perception that we need there. Visual calculus. Now, is that a failure that I did before? I think it was. So I guess I do want to put a point in visual calculus. Yeah, let's level up visual calculus. Sure. I'm happy with that. I could have done another thought, but that's okay. Find money for rent and pay Garty. You need to pay your room or it'll be locked after 9 o'clock. Oh, okay. So basically you have a full day to get 20 real. We only need to get 9 here. I want that bottle. Thank you. Given it's kind of the end of the day, I think we needed to speak to Kim, didn't we? After 10. Okay, cool. So probably talk to the people in here and then call it a day. Be my guess. Hey, what's up with this guy? Ooh, what's going on over here? Bottle of rum has been knocked over. Beautiful dark liquid is spilling out. That sugary black rum stain on the counter is giving... It makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already? 2 hours? An hour would have been bad, but 2 hours is mystical. You have truly wiped all trace of yourself if you haven't thought about rum and lemonade yet. Now that you mention it, I do need a rum and lemonade. I'd love to ask Arte to serve me up a beverage. Forget about the bar. Or don't forget it, you should totally try to get a drink here too. But first you should lick that stain off the counter. Yeah man, let's get wild, lick it. I'm gonna lick it. Calmly, Lieutenant looks out the window. Then at you licking the tasty rum stain off the counter, then out the window again. What are you doing? He asks without turning his eyes from the street outside. So I'm sorry, I drifted off into my own thoughts and now this happens. We should move. I love that he's just like, I'm done with this. He checked out the moment he saw us. He's just like, you know what? I need to do this. Let's just do it. Let him do whatever he wants. Deal with it. You could definitely go for some more. The titillating scent of alcohol in your nostrils was beautiful. Okay. Hey, what's up? Who are you? It's all about money, you know? Okay. Hey, what's up?
Can I help you?
Oh, I want some alcohol. I guess no. Find a bottle of alcohol, put it in your hand, and the magic will happen on its own. Well, we got rid of our alcohol. We poured it out for someone before. Okay. Well, there's nobody else here. Maybe we'll head out. We've only got half an hour until we need to have the end of the day, but at least we have a room now, which makes me a lot happier. I'm feeling a lot less worried that we're going to be completely without a room. Let's go check those footprints again in the back. Now that we have an extra electrochemistry. I mean, we have the same that we had last time, because obviously we have the negative right now, but this might work. Let's have a look. Alright, visual calculus, let's go. Maybe more than 12? No, 8 pairs of boots have been shuffled back and forth in the mud. Let's go over them one by one. Number 1, standard work boot. Reinforced toes, number 46. 2, standard work boot. Reinforced toes, number 44. Hobnailed work boot. Steel reinforced toes, number 43. Standard work boot, number 45, 46. Wait, which is it? You don't know. It's a miracle you can tell the prints apart as it is. The cold must preserve them. Count more. Number 5, another standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes, number 44. Number 6, an aberration, light as air, even pace. Same maker boot, but number 41. Male or female? Impossible to tell. Could have also been an adolescent. The gait is undeveloped. I'm pretty good at this, ain't I? You're not bad. It's as if the whole world darkens, everything else has a thin film of unimportance on it, and the tracks burn into the middle of it in a strange, beautiful way. And the rest? Number 7, the glowing outline of the standard work boot, number 46, but the imprints are twice as deep as the others. The weight exceeds 200 kilograms. Ah! That was the big man we were told they had working for him, the giant. 8, yet another standard work boot, number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole, however. The right sole is smoother, more worn. Someone with a limp? How many? The lieutenant has been tracking your eye movements. 8. I was pretty off then. I counted 20. The same guys are going back and forth. I never got the hang of it. Hyperopia. He points to his glasses. Did you see anything out of the ordinary? This one was a heavy one. 200 kilogram imprint. 200? He thinks for a moment. Could it be the combined weight of 2 people, one carrying the other who's tied up? Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built, soon-to-be dead man? Could be. You might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely. maybe it was a giant. Maybe it wasn't. There is real palpable excitement in his voice at the prospect of it not being a giant. But maybe it was. Just imagine it, a giant man, at least 2.5 meters tall. It could have been, but if it wasn't... He waits for you to finish the sentence. Could have been an extremely obese person. From here, the boots the victim wears. The lieutenant stops mid-sentence. A sudden change in wind direction blows a stench of rotten meat right in your face. He tries to continue. It's bad, very bad. Before you can heave, the wind changes direction again, the greenhouse plastic flapping in its gust. He appears to be wearing some kind of armored boot. I can't see any exotic prints here. His face muscles twitch. Someone had to carry him. Are any of the other prints deep enough? Deep enough to carry him? No. An obese person is becoming less likely. One of them was carrying him over. Possibly, yes. The lieutenant marked something down in his notebook. But why? You're thinking, why did they have to carry him? Yes, they could have just used a makeshift stretcher or marched him up to the gallows. Maybe there was a physically impressive strongman in their midst, somebody who wanted to impress their peers. Okay. Maybe the carrier wanted to impress their peers with a display of physical might. You mean a display of athletic ability meant to belittle the victim? A local champion carrying the intruder alone? I can see it. Anyway, the others? This one was light step, number 41 shoe. A woman or a kid? Don't think there's any way to be sure. Understood. Anything else? This one's an aberration. One sole is smoother than the other. Would that imply that they have a limp? Interesting. Let's name it the odd sole. You have any ideas, Lieutenant? Someone operating a workbench with a pedal, like a joiner at the harbor? He thinks for a second, or maybe a drummer. He regrets it the moment he said it. I'm just gonna nod. I don't know why I said that. We're not looking for a drummer. We're looking for a group of dock workers. Okay, so what it's suggesting there is that it wasn't that... It was... The reason why they were different wasn't because, like, they were walking differently. It's because the boot itself had been worn down from being used a lot on the same kind of thing. Lieutenant clearly appreciates the chance to clear up the drummer issue himself. He raises his index finger. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out the right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right. I'm going to nod thoughtfully. We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam, see if anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent, no? Yes, prudent. The lieutenant writes this information down in his notebook and reverts to the tracks in the mud. How old do you think these tracks are? A week, maybe. 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller who reported the hanging. It's not impossible. How do you know? I pulled last week's forecast for the coastal Revachol. 7 days below freezing. The day before the day of the hanging was the last warm day. Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in good state. The commotion here could have taken place a week ago. What do you think happened here? What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to a tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around, especially under the tree. Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, this appears to be a lynching. Indeed, they all stood in a row and looked at the tree. Yes, everything fits so well. Carried him over, hoisted him up, watched him hang. This is easy. I think we have a firm understanding of what happened here. Lieutenant's eyes narrow. He's thinking to himself. A doubt, perhaps. It would be unprofessional of him to be sure of himself at such an early stage of the investigation. Either way, he concludes, what else? We've been through all of it. Okay, so we got some more information, but actually we didn't learn anything new, unfortunately. It's a bit odd, isn't it, to do a whole investigation and not learn anything new. Oh. While I'm here, you know, might as well pick up a few more things. I can sell them later. I need my 20 real a day. What we got here? Goods from the lorry haphazardly litter the surroundings. That looks like it could be a shop. Is that a Freet? Could be. What have we got here? Jump Jams, a popular music mag. A The glossy magazine Most Able-Bodied Men, this issue hosts a top 10 list. Hello.
Welcome to Revachol.
Announces the rotund man. The remark isn't addressed at you, it's addressed at Kim. Why are you addressing my partner like that?
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago. Every school of thought and government has failed in this city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you.
What's happening? You sound angry, Kim.
It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination. Okay, so this guy was saying like, oh, he's a foreigner, welcome to Revachol kind of thing, I guess. Or you're not from around here. I got it. He's right. You're undermining our best shot at real self-determination.
Oh, come on, man. I just said welcome to Revachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself and behave. But you see, I'm an officer of the RCN. It's actually my job to make sure you behave. I would advise you to remember that.
Silence. The air between them becomes tense. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine. Fucking A, Kim. I've got your back. I'm gonna give him a punch in the shoulder.
You two make a cute couple. You know that?
The lorryman spits. Lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness. Now it's settled, we have a couple of questions.
Whatever you say, officers.
He waits impassively, cigarette smouldering between his fingers. I found this mug in the trash. Yours? This is the racist mug we had. He stares at the yellow man mug, then suddenly he explodes. Oh man, no man, that's great. Look at that guy go, I haven't seen anything that funny in a while. Is it yours? Goddamn. He wipes the tears from his eyes. Thanks for that, but no, it's not mine. He doesn't live in Martinez. What was that argument all about? It's about biological determination, natural law, the sorting of races. He spits on the ground. Not the most popular topic nowadays with the coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic, that is, bury your head under the sand like a common sheep. To be honest, I really can't remember what that means. Please explain. People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. He glances at Kim. So naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that. Okay, what else have you thought up? So lately, we Occidentals have experienced an unfortunate downturn. When members of the superior race cease to believe in their innate superiority, they stop competing for resources. Okay, and? This concerns you, policeman, so please be vigilant. The damned Kipts are showing up good lately, same with the mosquitoes and the other intruder species too. He shows a sharp glance at Lieutenant Kurosaki. They're on the precipice of cultural victory. Wait, what's this cultural victory? Are we playing Civ? It's what the Kipts of the Boogie Street are going for, right under our noses, and the others too on the radio. Heard any chansons lately? Heard any motetos or later? No, dominating culture is how they plan to win. They say so themselves. I'm gonna say nothing. It's true, he pushes on. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Who knows what might happen if people don't stay in their birthplace. You might end up with a new sub-race with unknown characteristics leading to extra competition. That's where you've got to control the offspring. Sure. Well, okay, I'm not going to wind him up because I want to potentially get some information out of him. So I'm going to talk about something else. Go right ahead. The man scratches his heavy-set stomach. You may be a cop, but that won't help you avoid the calamity to come. Lieutenant Kurosagi's stern expression remains unchanged, but you sense something there below. Not a lot of moral fiber on this one yet, he thinks. Wriggled out of it. What are you hauling? Not much anymore. Came here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's sit and wait on your ass situation. What cargo are you supposed to pick up? Apples. Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something to hide. Sounds like a cover story to me. Look, ace detective, I came from a long line of lorrymen. We got ancient rights and privileges. He loses his patience for explaining it. I'm just here to pick up a load of fucking apples, man. Just regular Kochko baked apples. Damn, you're not gonna get any more out of him. He's put up the wall of racism. You said something about the rights of and privileges of lorrymen? Yeah, they're a big deal. My great-grandfather was a carter. He had a royal license and everything. We tried to hold on to our privileges. Hold on, what's a carter? Someone with a cart. What did you think it was? That's how deep into history our thing reaches with our machines. And that's a privilege. Sure fucking is. We have a guild and everything. Very ancient, very prestigious. So it's a kind of union. Hell no, it's a guild, invitation only. Unions work for rich fucks. They're basically the same, been trying to fuck us out of our heritage in the name of profit. But you can't replace experience. Trusting street thugs with their goods is going to fuck them right up the ass, mark my words. Generations of practice ain't no laughing matter. You're a lawyer, right? What's your stance on drugs? Drugs, they're shit, man. Don't let anything pollute my body. He takes a long drag on his cigarette. Why not? You know where that shit comes from. Samariza, Safra, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector. They can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage. Okay. So I take it you're not smuggling drugs out of Martinez? No doubt, I'll never betray the purity of my tribe. So you're telling us that you don't know anything about drug smuggling through Terminal B? I don't know shit, and I wouldn't tell you. He puffs on a cigarette. What are you hanging around here for? Most other Kamanurus have left. What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff has been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like cancer. There's a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby. I did see one lorry with trailer doors open on my way here. Do you know what happened? Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved his country. We're having a good debate about genetics of the whirling in rags when some kid boy smashed his lock and damn near everything. Lost his fucking job over it. He takes a long suck on a cigarette, appearing to savor the taste. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to. The person he was speaking to could be the dead man, maybe. I don't know. Bad for him, I guess. The man shakes his head, dismayed, rigorously pulling his cigarette. It's a fucking travesty, that is what it is. If it's not you, then who's running drugs through Terminal B? Isn't it obvious? Fucking ceiling. The beady-eyed South Samaran. He spits on the ground. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well. Who's that? He's the Samaran guy who likes to pretend he's some kind of businessman. Really, he's just selling his employer's stuff. Stuff he stole after he broke the seals of his Humanox lorry. Where do I find him? Just follow the smell. It smells like apricots and oil when you're nearby. The lorryman lets out a raspy croak at his own sense of humor. Yes, where is he? Looks like I offended your partner here. He doesn't look at the lieutenant. Too bad. Zilling's usually a little bit south of here near the canal. You can't miss him. Just watch yourselves. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He nods in a sagely manner, then another puff on the cigarette. He's your man all right, 100%. I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what Selling himself has to say. Guess we need to pay Selling a visit then. Guess so. He grins, contented with himself. We're done for now. Talk about being done for now. One, I'm just going to clear up the fact that we have something undone there, and we can speak to him now. Oh, to Kim. Let's speak to him here.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
Yes, my hostel room calls. Lieutenant nods. We can pick up where we left off tomorrow morning. Okay. So, Kim wants to speak to us in the hostel, I think. Like on the balcony, did it say? Let's have a look. Talking to the right person can reopen a closed white check. Ooh. Okay, that's useful to know. So, end of day debrief. We need to do it on the Whirling in Rags balcony. Okay. That's fine. We'll head through here. Head upstairs. And see where we can go. I wonder what happens at the end of a day. I wonder whether people actually move around and like change positions, or whether it's just like there for the sake of being there. Head out to the balcony. Is it this way? Yeah. I think it's out this way. Hopefully. Ah, now we can speak to him. Let's just head out this way a little bit. Oh, we have to actually be closer? Okay. The smell of the sea makes you dizzy. Let's debrief.
Yes?
This is the balcony, right? Or maybe it just happens? Okay. Kim can answer any lingering questions you may have about the case in the RCM. Join him in the Whirling in Rags balcony after 10 o'clock when you're calling it a day. Quick save, just so we're not doing anything else. I'm calling it a day. Is it in here? Maybe? Maybe we have to do it inside? Maybe it's my balcony? Maybe there's a different door we have to go out of? I don't know. This is the door to the room where you redecorated. Good night, Lieutenant.
Just a moment. You had some questions earlier, I believe. And besides, we should discuss our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Alright, let's go. Okay, now it's kind of scripted. That's fun. Yes. Music's quite peaceful. The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment, then he listens to the traffic come. Then...
Where shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost. But I also remember you wanting to discuss the RCM?
I didn't know you smoked, Kim. I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual. Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette. I think I might want to pick up smoking. Do you have any more cigarettes? I apologize, but I only brought one with me. I have exactly one cigarette every night when I go over while going over my notes. How did you get so cool, Kim? The light of his cigarette illuminates a fleeting smile. You mean this? He flicks the ash. This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trait of will and unhealthy. Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes quite a lot of focus. Be easier to simply quit. Yet, were he to quit, he would lose the cool factor. This man relishes the cool quite a bit, below it all. Interesting. Right, the debrief. Yes, he pulls on the cigarette. It's been a long and eventful day. How do you think today went? The lieutenant raises his eyebrows. Well, we didn't even look at the body. Well, you know, I couldn't reach you. I'm sorry, I'm short, I guess. But we performed a thorough search of the premises of the crime scene. That's great. Though you drop the ball on inspecting the body, he doesn't want you to feel too discouraged. Probably out of the fear you'll just give up and keep drinking. Don't worry, Kim. I'll be totally up for inspecting the body tomorrow. I look forward to that. As for the interviews, we weren't able to find the union leader, Everard Clare, much less interview him, so that's one on the to-do list for tomorrow. We tried to interview the Wild Pines rep, but she has to do something for her first. Fine, so be it. He purses his lips. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us. If Kim is emphasizing something this much, it must be really important. And above all, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that standard Precinct 41 practice? I don't know why I do the things I do, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. He nods thoughtfully, tapping his finger on his cigarette. Is impressive, especially for a man of your age, and in those heels. He looks at your snakeskin shoes and smiles suddenly. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green, goes with the orange. So what are our powers exactly, the RCM? Oh, they're mostly limited. Actually, the power officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offences in accordance with interdepartmental schedule. 1,000? Why not more? The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We're not supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Revachol. Wouldn't that be an easy power to abuse? Yes, though indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. He frowns. It undermines trust in the RCM. Okay, what else? We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station call slip. Prevents confusion and overcrowding. Wait, how can we be sure the arrestee will show up? You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they're eventually caught. It's all about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up. I see, and if someone resists? As you may have gathered from the fact that we are expected to carry records of our kills like the one in your watermark. We are permitted to use whatever force is necessary, and strongly admonish not to abuse that power. So wait, if I kill someone while on duty, you have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually your witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It is hard to cover for anyone, which is for the best. What was the people we convict? We don't convict, we arrest and send them to the coalition government courts in Curon and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them. He taps on his coat pocket, where he keeps his notes. Who makes all these rules? The coalition government and the moral intern more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did, and now we attempt to maintain that order, no more, no less. His gaze is absently fixed on a window below that just went dark. Perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. The point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition government founded the RCM. I'm going to say nothing. Silence. A great comment to such a conundrum. The Moral Intern. What is that? The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. He pulls on a cigarette. You know who they are. They run this place after the revolution failed. But if I didn't know them, how would you describe them? They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world. What do they believe in? What do they believe in? They are DeLoreans. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they're just technocrats. Those others say they continue the humanist project set forth by Dolores Day. Okay. What is their symbol? Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. The motto is love, compassion, and self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that. Something kind and usual. Something almost self-explanatory. Something ominous. Who was Dolores Day? A historic figure, the author of the modern age. He thinks, you will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me. What do you think of them? The moral in turn are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change, and he looks at the city below. It doesn't look like that's about to happen. There's more to it than that. There's some kind of affection in him. You like the moral in turn? Yes, I did when I was younger. In my 20s, I considered myself a moralist. A blue forget-me-not, a piece of the sky, he quotes. They're not all that bad. As another leitmotif associated with moralism. But the years have changed that. I don't know what I believe in now. He thinks, then changes his mind. No, I believe in the RCM. That's enough for me. I have an opinion on the moral in turn. Do you? Lieutenant arches his brow, then pulls on a cigarette. It's a slim, white thing in his fingers. Well, I think the top one. Things are bad out there, pointing to the city. We need them here, giving us right to police Revachol. In fact, we would need them even if you didn't think that way. We are in what is called the twilight of international law. Laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes. Maybe we should make our own law. Spoken like a revolutionary, not a cop. But hypothetical aside, in Martinez, we already are vigilantes. At least the Union thinks so. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging. He looks at the roundabout. I'm going to say nothing and look into the night. The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. An aerostatic passes overhead, the whiskers of its floodlights on the ground below. Kit Saragi's glasses light up as he looks to the sky. 2 glowing circles. Finally, he pulls on a cigarette and says, they really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid Kuno, it's different in land, in Jamrock and the GRIH. Why are they like this? It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company. Not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks. The jurisdictions of our 2 precincts. And in Jamrock and the GRIH? He looks at the dark silhouette of the equestrian monument cutting into the night sky and says, we run the city west of the river as RCM land. It's incredibly hard, human beings are. He shakes his head. But we are in control and it is worth it. The organization works. Our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate. Let's hope our investigation will improve the situation here. At least do some good. Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetime. Thank you for this. Ooh, lots of experience for that. Yeah, it's a good thing very cold now. Let's go. He puts out the stub of a cigarette and looks to the door. What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate political opinions somewhere in the Martinez. Well, that's me, Mr. Reasonable. Someone's got to keep it sane around here. The air suddenly feels calmer, more transparent in a strangely tender way. Perhaps it's the hangover, perhaps it's temporary surge of serotonin, but something tells you it's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience. First, where is this Kingdom of Conscience? It's not a place, it is a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances, and all of human history is only being achieved a handful of times. How do you bring about these circumstances? Incrementally. History's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place too quickly. As the genius of Dolores Day, she recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real, lasting change can only come about gradually, increment by increment. What was the Kingdom of Conscious actually about? The kingdom is difficult to comprehend, and even more difficult to describe. Partially because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit it today. The Kingdom of Conscience is post-capitalist, post-national. It's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual. Sounds incredible. Allons-y. Let's get there right now. Slow down, Mr. Reasonable. Did you miss the part about compromising and taking things slow? Alright, well, let's get there eventually. That's right. Remember, real democracy is just around the corner for Revachol. When the real democracy kicks in, a long time from now, we're all going to be so much happier. We have another thought here. Okay. When researching it, you might lose 2 half-life. Partake is powerful, democracy is subtle. Incrementally, you begin to notice a change in the weather. When it snows, the flakes are softer when they stick to your worry-worn forehead. When it rains, the rain is warmer. Democracy is coming to the administrative region. The ideals of DeLorean humanism are reinstating themselves. How can they not? These are the ideals of the Coalition and the Moralist International. These guys are the Signal Blue, and they're not only good, but they're powerful. What will it be like once their nuanced plans have been realized? Okay, well, we're done for the day. I think it's time to head into our room and have a nap. Well, by nap I mean asleep for 8 hours. Probably. Yeah, let's head in here. See you in the morning. Ooh. Look at all the bottles I can pick up. This is productive. Hey, it's cleaning our room as well. Close the door. Right. Grab this. Don't want to look in the mirror yet. Wait, have I got another one here to do? Look out. We've already done that one. I want to look in the mirror. We didn't do this earlier. It's still a 3% chance. Let's leave it. Alright. Well, quick save. Time to sleep. The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful. Tutorial Agent. The option to go to sleep becomes available every night after 9 o'clock. Crawl in. The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. And then, sleep doesn't come. Why? Maybe it's the bed's fault. Let's check the pillow. Its synthetic filing is separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly. Check the blanket. It barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm, breathing. Under your thrumming eyelids, you see a dizzying array of colours. You won't get off this carousel quite so easily. Roll over to the other side. It's a little better. Colours, scenes, half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it? Who killed him? Who? Something to do with, what was it the lieutenant said? Union, and it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing brain waves. No more thoughts. Fall asleep now. Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you, until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming. There's a weird nightmare world. Alright. Well, this is trippy. If Kuno's there, I'm gonna be well annoyed he's in my dreams. That's me. With a disco ball above me. Oh, that's weird.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
I remember nothing.
Do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
I was left.
That's right, funky baby. And you just stood there. One hand on the bottle and the other on your dick. Watching her go. Let it all be dragged away from you. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
Am I called Harry? We got a name? I can get it all back.
No, it's gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium.
What is Elysium? What is Elysium?
Everything. The Pale and the Isolas on the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people, and you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
I've seen you before.
No, you haven't. You're just sleep talking, and the act is wearing thin too. The spots on the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time, sweating up the bed.
Switch to brain opposed to bloated corpse of a drunk.
Stinky boy.
I can come back from this.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours, bumping into things and acting like a clown? Who are you kidding?
I'm trying to solve this case.
You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet, grinding in your head.
Something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad. This dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
God, there's another type?
Oh yes, party boy. And it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
And with that, we awaken. And... oh, we can't move yet. Okay. And that's it. Good going, buddy. I just had the most beautiful dream. Uplifting, rejuvenating. Really? Because you feel even worse this morning than you did last night. What the hell is going on with me? You mean... why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think. Why is this happening? It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. You're too weak to say no now. Waking up is the worst part. Maybe somewhere down the line you could decline. Wait, what is speed? Speed is a potent central nervous system stimulant. It keeps you propped up all day yesterday despite your debilitating hangover. How else could you think you got up from this floor? It's power, man. It's professionalism. It makes you feel like you're young again and ready to detect. Ready to go out to war against the world. No, I can take this. I'm not going to go looking for speed. Are you sure? Ready to live this pathetic shell of yours for days, basically a week. Let's be honest, 2 weeks, maybe 3. You won't make it. Half the town will be dead by then. You'll be fired. That's a lie. I can do this without speed. Half the town won't be dead. Opting out. Gain experience. Suit yourself. Slow, sad shell man. Let's see how you do without your spark. Why did that pop up again? Don't know. Okay. Well, with that, I am going to end the episode there. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.